How's it going, everybody? My name's TradeX, this is my trading den, and what a day we've got today. Why? Because it's the first day of Q2. So today we're going to do a recap of Monday the 3rd of April, and we're going to cover a lot. We're going to cover SMT, we're going to cover an inverted fair value gap, we're also going to talk about 15-minute volume imbalances again, alright? So before we get into that, let's run the intro and then we'll jump straight into it. So here we are, guys. Now before we jump into this, as always, if you find this video useful, please do consider smashing a like and subscribe. It helps other people view this content and it also helps the channel out, alright? So caring is sharing and it means the world. So that being said, let's jump into today's price action. I'm doing it slightly earlier today. Reason being is that price action at the moment is doing this and I'm not trading it. So, you know, I thought I'd make the best of the time and break down today's price action. And I took a number of trades. You can head over to my Twitter and see those if you like, as I break them down on my Twitter. But there were some nice opportunities in the London session and the AM session specifically, so let's break those down. Where I want to start with firstly is looking at some SMT, okay? We're going to look at some SMT. So we're going to go back here to 448 on ES, okay? 448 on ES. And what did we have? We had these relative equal lows. Now these relative equal lows can be a bit of a target for you in ES. So you might not have taken this entry here long purely on the basis that those relative equal lows there, and you might have had a vision that they were going to get purged before price rallied, okay? Now, if we look at NQ, this is where we can use SMT, because on ES, those relative equal lows were still intact, but on NQ, it had been taken. Now, in the macro, NQ and YM, NQ was well below YM and ES. NQ therefore had to play catch up with the other two. The very fact that NQ had taken this sell side was a bullish indicator that price had no reason to run lower on ES to fulfill that sell side purge before moving higher, because NQ did it on its behalf. I hope that makes sense, but that's a little addition to the SMT. I broke it down inside Red Pill this morning, so if you have any further questions on that, feel free to reach out and we can break that down. But my first indication before I took my long was off that. So it was on the basis that NQ had purged these relative equal lows and ES hadn't, but ES and YM was stronger. Confluence number one. Confluence number two was at that time, if we look at where ES had got to, ES was miles ahead of NQ with regards to getting into a premium of this displacement leg. And as we know, price is going to move from a discount to a premium or a premium to a discount. If we look at here, price had not even reached into a premium. NQ, we were still well below 50%, okay? I was therefore looking for price to run into a premium. Why? Because we had this 15-minute volume imbalance up here that price was likely to draw to, right? And rebalance. As we know, I like 15-minute volume imbalances, support and resistance. And where do we have the 15-minute volume imbalance? Just here. Sneaky one, all right? Now let's jump back onto the 1 minute and let's break this down even further. So my target was here. Why was that 15-minute specifically? Because it was inside the OT zone, all right? It was inside the OT zone. And let me just get my camera working again. It was inside the OT zone. Now, we have here a SIBI. Sell side imbalance, buy side inefficiency. Once price breaks through it and retests it, this is now inverted. This is now quote unquote support and resistance. My trade was exactly this. Off that, targeting the 15-minute volume imbalance, stop just below. Go check out my Twitter, guys. That was my trade. Over $1,000 because I took 4 contracts, right? On one account. Very, very simple. Using a multitude of confluences as to the reason why I took that trade. The next piece of price action I want to talk about is going back onto ES. And we can see that just before the open, this sell side down here got purged. Right, the sell side here got purged. And I'm not going to talk about my overall macro today. I broke that down inside Red Pill today, but everyone inside Red Pill today knew I was bearish. Okay? Everyone inside Red Pill knew I was bullish, sorry. Get that right, X. Everyone inside Red Pill knew I was bullish, and there's reasons for that, but I'm not going to break it down inside this specific episode. What I was looking for was therefore entries for price to run higher. and I called it out just before the open. Bear in mind this 15-minute volume imbalance. We had another 15-minute volume balance over here. Draw that across your chart because these are support and resistance lines. Okay. Now, I was looking for this sell side here to get purged, see how it reacts around this volume imbalance. Bingo. There was the entry. There was the entry. And I actually wrote it for 5 handles. Well, it was 4 handles, 2 contracts, 4 handles each. So that's 8 contracts. And I didn't drive it all the way up here. I could have done, but I didn't. Right. First day of the quarter, just want to get green in the bag. I just want to, I had a really good London session. I was up a lot, so I didn't need to push it. But, in hindsight, I could have taken a lot more. Now, you had multiple entries to get in here. You could have waited for a return to this OTE for further expansion higher. You have price return into medium threshold of this order block. You also had a rejection block form here on the 1 minute. Price moved higher, returned into the rejection block, moved up higher. You then had a mitigation block form. Price ran off the mitigation block. You had many entries to sort of pile in. I just stayed out of all of it for the reasons I just mentioned. But I was looking at these standard deviations on the 1 hour as my target. And again, everyone in Red Pill knew I was looking at these standard deviations for places where I was expecting price to reach to take partials or for signs of reversal. Okay, and you can see that it pinged 2 times standard deviation, just fell short of 2.5 standard deviation, but it topped the coincided with topping the order block on the day, the bearish order block. Okay, then we had the classic 2022 model. Not the cleanest, but it was classic. So we had a purge of the buy side, move up into a higher time frame PD array. This instance was filling that daily order block. And then price aggressively displaced away. Price was showing that it was heavy. Why? Because it could not get back above into a premium of the range. As soon as you saw that, you could have jumped on it to go short. You can see here it could not get back above 50% of the discount range of the displacement leg. Okay, and price ultimately fell all the way back down to pretty much where we started. We've had a nice little rally here. There's some other entries here off inverted fair value gaps, and now price is chopping. So that's going to cover this session today. I hope you found that useful. How I build conferences using S&T, using inverted fair value gaps, using price targets that go into a premium, looking for volume imbalances. So a lot covered there. Really useful little session. As always, guys, if you feel like that was valuable, please do consider smashing like and subscribe. And until next time, trade safe and trade smart. Cheers. Bye.